Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Mixlife, episode 60. I didn't bother to check the number of episodes, so I really hope my math was right on that. Otherwise, we have two episode 60s, but whatever. Rick and Dave are here. We're chilling.
Yo.
I don't even know why I'm here, but I'm here.
We don't know either, really. I'm not sure why we allow it.
Of the headphones. Yeah, I don't know either.
You just saw how much fun I have showing up absolutely everywhere. They'll give me a spot. And you're like, I want to try that. So
yeah, that's the plan.
Just trying to jack my steez, bro.
Following you around everywhere.
Good, all right. You guys do anything new? I had a great vape accident this weekend that I'm pretty happy about. I was messing around with Flavor's Sugar Orchid, and previously I'd found it to be like overly potent and kind of weird. But I was maybe had a few beers while I was making up some juice, and so like I overpoured it by like triple, and I ended up like 1.5%, and it did some pretty cool stuff. So now it's like this weird like powder sugar confectionery thing. It's in a mix just with Loran's watermelon and juicy strawberry, right? Like it's really simple stuff that I was just making in a hurry. But the sugar orchid turned it like into like this like that powder on the outside of like Big League Chew gum, right? Remember the powder that used to come in it? It's super interesting. It was a little perfumey the first 2 days, and I wasn't real impressed, and I thought it was going to be terrible. But then I picked it back up yesterday morning, something. But it turned out pretty decent, so I'm happy with it. So I'm going to mess around more with that. I think that it was one of the new releases that really didn't get a lot of attention because I think nobody knew what to do with it. But now that I'm there, I'm pretty pumped about it. It's good stuff.
I haven't been doing much of anything, honestly. It's been kind of refreshing. I think my go-to vape over the last week has been like 5% Flavor root beer and 0.5% Flavor peppermint because I've given up on life.
I've been vaping watermelons all week, getting ready for Noted tomorrow, and I took a break from that yesterday to go on Fresh's show, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun to go on his show. Watermelons are like the variety of watermelon flavors are it's so broad, and so many of them are so badly executed.
There are so many of them.
But there's like a million. There's so many watermelons. I only like 3 of them, maybe. But like Loran's being like the first and foremost, and then maybe Flavor Arts. And I kind of like Flavor's, but I kind of put it in with like Flavor Arts. It's a little weird. It's not bad. And then Cap Double Watermelon's okay, I guess.
I just wish that both Flavor Arts watermelon and Flavor's watermelon were a little stronger because I like them because they aren't so like overtly in your face like watermelon candy, and they're not too boozy, but they don't really ever stand up in a recipe for me.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like I really like both of them, but they just are a pain in the ass to make them be like prevalent, you know. They're really thin. I mean, which I guess kind of lends to their authenticity because like real watermelon isn't a really bold flavor, you know.
Yeah, I ate some watermelon for reference and because I like it, and it was, you know, I thought about the flavors and how watermelon really it's water, basically, water and sweetness with a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, it's not a really strong flavor, so it's really one of those like when you want your recipe to be like a really straightforward watermelon, like you kind of have to lean on the candy watermelons to stand it up. And then instead of doing the apple thing, like some people do, I've been messing around with cucumber to get a little more like of the juicy depth, and the cucumber rind, when you mix it with like a watermelon flavor, like does a really good job of like meeting you in the middle with like the melon rind thing. It's worked pretty well so far.
Have you been messing around with TPA cucumber with watermelon? Because to me, TPA cucumber already kind of tastes like watermelon. It's a very strange flavor.
Yeah, TPA cucumber, definitely. I tried it with Flavor watermelon too, or Flavor cucumber, I mean. and I had some okay results, and that was what I went with first. But Flabora Cucumber, it kind of falls off the map after the first couple of days, and it doesn't stick around. So like initially, it's really really good and it works really well. But I think I'd have to like crank it up higher to get it to stick for sure, right? And at that point, like I run the risk of fucking up my watermelon by like just having to use too much to get it to stick around. So yeah, I've been sticking with TPA Cucumber in like the 2% range, right? It's exactly like Rick said. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's a weird flavor.
There's a lot of flavors out there that aren't like bad. They're just like, what the hell do I actually do with this? And mixing with a watermelon, that sounds like a pretty good plan.
Yeah, TPA Cucumber definitely works really. I think it works well in like all kinds of melons. Like I really like 4% TPA Cucumber and 2% Flavora Wild Melon. And then like some pear or some shit or whatever if you want to throw like make it real crazy.
If you want to get wild and
get real crazy with it, right? 3 flavors. Oh my god.
Just next level shit right there.
Well, like it seems like this whole last year, like minimalist recipes have been like all the rage, right? 2-3 flavors and like even percents at like under 10%. But I mean,
I feel like I'm going in the opposite direction, at least. Like, I haven't released a bunch, but that's the stuff I've been mixing personally and stuff I've been screwing around with. Like, I want to get violently assaulted in the face with flavor now. And so my percentages have just been creeping up. It's been terrifying.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good to keep like perspective on that. There are no real like hard and fast rules for how much you can use and what's going to be good. Like, I think that going DIY and DIYers get so kind of like hemmed into the trends of the DIY community, and as people's palates like adjust away from commercial juice and become stronger, obviously the preference will over time be to go with lower and lower, using less and less to achieve your goals. But like then when you go back to like mixing commercially or commercial-ish, right, doing one shots and stuff, you start to remember that you can really like turn shit up like to like 11 and it's still pretty good, and you don't have to lean on like 5% sweetener to cover up your fuck ups as long as you pay attention to balance in the first place.
I just want like big weird flavors, and I think that's part of what isn't clicking for me right now with a lot of stuff is like I've kind of lost a little bit of touch for subtlety and instead just want like, here are a couple things that are really fucking strange and interesting at the same time.
Dude, speaking of strange, Fruit Bomb, Decadent Vapors Fruit Bomb. Did we try that?
I didn't get that one, I don't think.
Or fruit something. It's spelled with like FROOT, right?
Yeah, I know the concentrate you're talking about. I don't think it was in that batch that got sent over. Is it strange?
It's weird. It's like forest fruit, but with that sort of like FA raspberry top, right? That FA raspberry like floral top. That makes me really like addicted to it. But then there's got some like weird kind of gooey cap jelly candy type bottom note.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I've been appreciating about some of the Decadent Vapor stuff is just because it's ridiculously aggressive, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the concentrates themselves aren't very strong, but I like how nuanced they are, and that you only need like 2 of them to make a pretty good juice, right? You don't need to have like 5 flavors or a huge inventory. Like I feel like they bridge the gap between like one shots and like standard concentrates.
We did have a question from the chat, which thank you, chat, for saving our asses here. So gardening mother chuckas in the high and low deserts. I love that name, by the way. You should add more things to that. Trying to come up with a cotton candy dragon fruit vape. Any ideas?
Cotton candy dragon fruit. Well, I mean, TPA dragon fruit's already pretty candy-ish.
Yeah, and the thing about cotton candy is it's super easy to get a cotton candy mouthfeel. It's just not pleasant to vape. So you could start as easy as just taking TPA dragon fruit and adding in like 2 or 3% of their cotton candy. The other way that you could go is you could grab
circus cotton candy though, not the regular cotton candy.
Circus cotton candy tastes like burning plastic to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would use Flavora cotton candy.
Or Flavora cotton candy is a really good choice. TPA cotton candy, like if you were to push it, I don't get any flavor from TPA cotton candy at all. Even when I push it up at like 8% or something, it doesn't taste like anything.
It just tastes like it tastes sweet and kind of like vaping insulation, which I think is part of the cotton candy effect.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it.
But if you're looking for like that blue cotton candy thing to play off of, I really like Flavor West's blueberry cotton candy. So you could probably do something cool with like Dave was saying, like Flavora cotton candy or like blueberry cotton candy by Flavor West, or hell, if you want to let it steep for like a month, Capella's blue raspberry cotton candy also isn't bad. But when you're mixing something with something that sweet, you probably want to throw a lot of the subtlety out the window and just use some TPA dragon fruit. Why not?
I haven't tried their Flavor West blueberry cotton candy. They're pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's really solid. It has quite a bit of vanilla in it, but not in a bad way. It's also noticeably smoother for me than Capella's blue raspberry cotton candy.
Nice.
That's why I want to use Flavora's, because it has
cotton
vanilla
candy
in it and not in a bad way, and I think it would play well with the TPA dragon fruit.
Dave's kind of the expert at using TPA dragon fruit at obscene percentages. Shout out to Mother of God's Milk.
Right. I don't know. I like TPA dragon fruit, and a lot of people only use it at like 1 or 2%, but you can crank that shit up to like 15, and it's pretty good. It kind of goes to bubblegum when you take it over like 6, but
if you're making a cotton candy vape, there you go. Oh, so
Pink Burst maybe. Maybe the Pink Burst is probably it's going to give you the wrong kind of body. You're looking for like that light sort of cotton candy feel, I think.
Oh, TFA pomegranate. What pairings would go well with it? Shout out to Indy's Best.
TPA regular pomegranate or the pomegranate deluxe? First of all, and
yeah,
second,
regular pomegranate is a little bit harsh. It's kind of a hard flavor to work with, at least for me.
Yeah, I like the deluxe better. I mean, regular TPA pomegranate is still good. I like it with Capella's cranberry, a little bit of Flavor West blueberry, maybe. I mean, it's chewing with strawberries. Any bright red berry is going to be fine.
I think it goes really well to push a cherry, like a backup for a cherry, because you can't push cherries too hard without them getting really yucky and medicinal. But you can put some pomegranate in there, some TPA pomegranate, and fill it out. Yeah. So you're not really tasting pomegranate. It just fixes the cherry. But I'm talking about like less than 1%.
Yeah, the regular pomegranate I have difficulty working with because it gets soapy. It just smells like cantaloupe and nail polish.
I think he's talking about melon. He's talking about a melon flavor.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I don't feel like that's accurate. I was trying to figure it out. Oh my goodness, you guys! I'm just waking up. Well, actually, I've been up since like 7:30, but.
Oh, yeah, I'm halfway awake at this point, but I am drinking a delightful purple guava pear Bang energy drink, which is threateningly named and makes me shaky as all hell. So
that looks terrifying.
Oh, it's so bad. I think it's like one of those weird like 300 milligrams of caffeine and fucking like creatine and shit. So yeah. I'm pretty much ready to punch a hole through the wall, or it's gonna be fun.
I tried one of these today, which is a strangely phallic container, but they were like free, I guess. So, I don't recommend them. They're terrifying.
Oh, pepper and grapefruit mix. Are you talking about FA citrus mix? Because that's basically what that flavor is.
That's fair. Never pepper and grapefruit. I think intentionally. I've used Flavor Art's black pepper, and
I don't know, but Flavor Art black pepper is a good flavor.
God, it's so good. It's really underrepresented. I mean, it's hard to make it fit in a lot of places, but it's such an authentic, like just straight black pepper. It's good. I like it with pineapple and brown sugar.
I made a version 2 of that Bangkok Dangerous disaster this morning, Rick. It's happening. I'm chasing it now.
You're gonna make it a fucking thing?
I'm gonna make it a thing. It's a thing now. It's happening. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore, but it's gonna happen.
Are we talking about teriyaki again?
Yeah, I that's what I live mixed on Fresh's show. They said I was their good luck charm because all of their mixes turned out great when they don't usually, because they're live mixing crazy stuff. And mine was not. Mine was the only one that was not good. But I'm gonna fix it.
F.A. black pepper and Lorenz watermelon.
And it has F.A. black pepper in it.
Did you end up dropping the basil out or the lemongrass out?
I didn't take them out. I just lowered them down. I'm going to try to get just hints of that where it shows up without being overpowering. The real only problem with that juice that I made yesterday was just way too much basil. Even at just 0.2%, it was basil.
0.2. I can't use Flabora basil over like 0.25%. Usually like 0.15 or less, because it's so bright green, right? Like bright.
Yeah,
it goes straight from basil to like wet salad. Yeah, I don't.
I had lemongrass in there too,
because I feel like if you're using
0.2, and I think the combination of those two kind of push the basil up more than it would have been otherwise. And
I feel like you could go higher on the lemongrass, like up to 0.5%, but like then halve again your basil and go to like 1 drop per 10 ml or something like that.
I'm already at 2 drops per 40 ml.
Oh, well then I guess 1 drop per 40 ml.
Yeah.
Okay. Just cut it in half. Man.
We're gonna start doing half drops now, but yeah, there's one-on-one teriyaki in there too, and peanut butter and Kanako soy and all sorts of fun stuff.
Good Lord, what a train wreck!
Some coconut.
Kanako soy. That's an interesting flavor. I really like that stuff. I have absolutely no fucking idea what to do with it, but it's cool and I like it. That's pretty much it. That's my story.
Put it in peanut butter. It's like crunchy peanut butter instead of just peanut butter.
Yeah, it's got like a neat, like kind of grain solidity to it.
That's why it's going in my curry recipe.
Get pepper from almost all the vanillas.
Yeah, I just followed up in the chat. I was just asking if he gets it from TPA Vanilla Swirl or Anywhere Shisha Vanilla. Those two have been pretty safe for me, but okay, so you haven't tried either of those yet. Yeah, like which vanillas are you getting it from? Because for me, at least, I get that from flavors with a whole lot of acetylpropanol. So like TPA VBIC, and I get a little bit out of like Liquid Barnes Vanilla Ice Cream, TPA White Chocolate and stuff. That's usually what gives me pepper.
Whatever happened to chai tea vapes? I made a couple of different chai recipes last year. But chai is like really one of those things that only a handful of people actually really drink. A lot of people say they love the flavor or the smell, but then
like they like sugar from Starbucks.
Yeah, but nobody actually buys them, right? Like you go to the grocery store, you don't see people walking around with a bunch of chai tea in their cart. They're good, but like I said, they're just not very popular. There's a few on my ELR account if you want to check them out. My favorite one is Dirty Chai because it's got an RY4 in it. And I think it's pretty glorious.
Okay, so Rusty did follow up, mainly TFA VBIC vanilla custard. So yeah, just stay clear of TFA's VBIC vanilla custard, their white pepper, Liquid Barnes vanilla ice cream. And if you want just a straight vanilla, honestly, I usually just use Vanilla Swirl or Shisha Vanilla. Like those are my two go-tos for that.
Don't get TFA white chocolate if you get pepper from VBIC or
get if you're into white chocolate, get Flavor West or Flabora's white chocolate. Both of those are fine.
Or better yet, both and mix them together.
That's also true. Yeah. So, what's our favorite Hangsen flavor? My very favorite Hangsen flavor. It's kind of a toss-up between their RY4 and their banana, with like a Italian cream coming in like really close behind those two.
Yeah, Italian cream's kind of great. It's tangy without being gross. I like their apple mix quite a bit, even though it's dry as all hell.
Yeah, it's that cranberry weirdness that's in their apple mix that kind of sets it off, but it's really nice. And it's got like a, excuse me, like a bit of spice in it, cinnamon and stuff.
They have a slightly slept-on mango flavor that actually isn't all that bad. It's nothing like fantastic, but if you don't like Flavora mango, it's a pretty good alternative.
That's interesting. I don't think I ever ordered their their mango, but I have some credit to use up.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, there's nothing to write home about, but it's solid.
I tried it when I was chasing a real authentic mango and didn't like it because that's what I was chasing. And then when I revisited it, I was like, that's actually a pretty tasty flavor. It's just not what I was looking for at the time.
Yeah, it's nice because it doesn't have like the awkward pine peel thing going on too much.
No, it does not.
It tastes more like a mango drink almost, right?
Yeah, it's like a single flavor mango smoothie.
Yeah,
with like some cream in it.
Hangsen pumpkin. Hangsen pumpkin isn't bad. It's weird as fuck, but it's not bad.
Oh, the pumpkin pie.
They have just a regular pumpkin, and it really just tastes like raw canned pumpkin.
I don't know if
I swear that's their pumpkin pie that tastes like raw canned pumpkin.
Maybe I'm mistaken, and I'm just getting the two mixed up. But
I don't think they have a pumpkin.
I have a weird issue with Hangsen pumpkin pie. I basically can't taste the damn thing. I vaped it up to 10% and don't get much out of it.
It hardly has any flavor at all. It's like all mouthfeel.
I can taste it just fine, but it's definitely like just
silky.
Like, it's just like mushed pumpkin, like raw pumpkin, not cooked.
Yeah, it's raw pumpkin out of a can. It has a silky texture though. It's nice.
Yeah, it does have the nice texture. It's pretty good if you like jam it in with like a 2PA yam or something like that.
Hey, Mr. Burgundy agrees with me. That's all I need.
Does he agree? Oh, he can't taste it either. Yeah, it's got almost no flavor. It's weird because it says pumpkin pie and it has no spice in it whatsoever. It's like, what? Who makes a pumpkin pie with no spice?
Looking for a good pretzel. DIY Flavor Shack's pretzel is interesting. Dawn sent me a ton of it because she had like way too much to get rid of, I guess, at one point. But it's kind of dry and it's hard to use with other stuff. I never tried I tried the Wonder Flavors one and it doesn't really taste. It just tastes like dough. But I also don't. I don't have any idea because it doesn't mix well with anything. The DIY Flavor Shack pretzel, like it doesn't mix well. Like it doesn't combine well with anything else. So if you're just looking for a straight pretzel with nothing else, that's cool. But if you put caramel in it, it'll get fucked up. Or anything else. One-on-one might be a better choice. I don't know. I don't have the one-on-one version.
Dave's about to have a bunch of one-on-one. I'm super excited to hear his colorful description.
Yeah.
Did you guys order a bunch more one-on-one?
I needed some more teriyaki, right? And I told people I would buy them because I didn't want anybody to buy teriyaki just because I said it was good. So I got a couple of people said they wanted the teriyaki, so I ordered some teriyaki for them, some more teriyaki for me, and then I just went nuts and wound up spending $100
on one-on-one flavors.
On one-on-one flavors, yeah, I got at least one flavor for every week of Noted up through November to try a one-on-one.
Oh man, I'm sad. I was hoping you were just gonna buy all the weird fucking shit like fried chicken and shit.
No, just teriyaki, and then something for every week.
Some of their stuff is really good. One-on-one is one of those companies that like it seems like they either just like nail it to the wall and it's like super good, or it's really fucking terrible and you want to die after you vape it.
Hey,
well, my first impression of them was trying all of their mangoes, and that didn't go well.
They do candy pretty well, and they do some creams really well.
I was gonna ask Koppel because you're a fucking weirdo. Have you messed with the TPA terpenes yet? Are they water soluble?
Yes. Are they water soluble?
Yeah.
They should be, but I don't know why you would want to. Why would you want to do that?
Well, no, because like TPA is like selling them now, so I'm just like, would they even be safe to mix with?
Well, I mean, theoretically, sure, but I mean, what's the goal here? I mean, if you're using them for flavorings, as just for flavoring, I don't.
It came up in the chat, my dude. I'm saying it sounds super interesting. And I like on TPA's SDS sheets and like their spec lists and stuff.
Mr. Burgundy, you're only partially correct. Terpenes are aroma volatiles, but they are not only extracted from cannabis. They come from a ton of different stuff. They come from a wide range of fruits and other vegetables and plants. Like it's not just weed, right? So the thing is that terpenes are a really highly effective carrier for THC, right? So when you use them, in conjunction, they can have beneficial effects on the potency and the longevity of your THC. But they are not necessarily only terpenes exist everywhere. Terpenes exist in citrus flavors, stone fruits, and a bunch of other stuff. So just to clarify,
I think Yakima hops is pretty heavy on terpenes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like terpenes come from all kinds of stuff. The ones from TPA, are they only cannabis? I'm going to look it up right now.
They have a bunch of them that either come from or are based on cannabis strains. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Terpenes.
Yeah.
They just they have really orange terpenes. They have tons of different terpenes.
Yeah, and when you're scrolling through the SDS sheet, like you'll see like grape bubblegum, and then it's like grape OG Kush.
Right. But they also have like camphor and carrying 3 delta, caraphyllonine acetate.
Zombie killer Kush OG.
Eucalyptol. Eucalyptol is cool stuff. Linalool. Nerol.
I'm gonna buy some straight linalool and just send it to Verve. I would just want to know that he's hurting.
Oh God, he'll die.
I know. I'd be kind of cool with that though if it was funny.
Let me look here. Flavored terpene strain blends. Oh, there we go. Unflavored terpene strain blends.
And Burgundy in the chat, like, yeah, I think, did Flavor West ever actually fill in their terpene site? Because I was checking their site out and they like add a tab for terpenes now.
Oh, Flavor West is doing it too?
Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, I'm looking forward to getting, you know, Pineapple Express OG Kush with fructose in it. Like, that's the dream right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the SDS sheets for this stuff. But I'm trying to, like, oh, they have cheese terpenes. What is that? A pretty wide selection. Interesting. Oh, they don't have the. I have to look them up separately. God damn it! I don't want to do that right now. I'll come back to that. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, they're safe to mix with PG or PG and VG and all that other stuff. They're not safe to inhale. I mean, people have been using them in weed vapes for like over a decade, right? Nobody's ever had any like documented case of illness from it. They're not toxic. They don't necessarily. They'll be harsh in probably most cases on modern like sub-ohm equipment. So I don't recommend vaping them at like on your fucking 120 watt fucking dual alien what the fuck ever's, right? Like don't do that because you'll fucking blow your face off. Right? Go low power, mouth to lung, stuff like that.
Or don't. We're not your parents.
Yeah, or don't. I mean, if you want to blow your face off, like that's your prerogative. It's not my problem. But
follow your dream.
Follow your dream. I'm probably gonna get banned from YouTube for even talking about them now, but that's all right. Fuck them if they can't take a joke.
Thanks, Koppel.
Whatever. We'd already started, so it was either just let it be and not educate and let somebody fucking be an idiot, or I could say something.
So, Cincinnati King's talking about like Fruit Loop vapes in the chat, and I realized that Flavor West Fruity Flakes has like sucrose or like whatever the fuck in it.
Yeah, it's sucrose. A lot of it too. It's like 40%.
It is so much more satisfying than Flavor West Fruit Rings. Like, if you're into vaping stuff, you probably shouldn't be vaping. The Fruity Flakes is so fucking worth it.
Yeah, I like it on top of TPA's Berry Cereal. Color Me a Heretic. But TPA Berry Crunch has like the grainy cereal part that I think that Fruity really misses out on. I know a lot of people really hate that flavor, but I think it's a really perfect cereal base. Has anybody tried that Absinthe 2 TPA? No, ever since I discovered Decadent Vapors Absinthe, I stopped giving a fuck about all the other ones because it's that good.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that's like you don't ever use a lot of it. I mean, I'm sure there's some weirdos out there that vape like absinthe all day, every day, and maybe they need a cheap absinthe option. But like when I want absinthe, I kind of want the good stuff.
Yeah, Decadent Vapors. Or if I'm gonna do something different, like I'll just kind of build my own. And by build my own, I mean I'll cheat and use TPA Whorehound, which is like really super close, anyways.
Oh, so Nabinko, there we go. I was mixing one of my favorite cap sweet guava, and some of it got on my scale and permanently discolored the plastic. Now I'm hesitant to use it. What's in it that would cause that to happen? I have absolutely no idea, but I've vaped a metric fuck ton of it, so whatever it is, it's all in my lungs.
Yeah, I've vaped probably like a liter worth of cap sweet guava by now. It's really good. It's super good. I've spilled it probably all over my entire office right at this point, right? I probably spilled it like 10 times or 20 times, and I've never noticed any discoloration. So
neither of us are dead yet. So
we're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And Leilani said, Rin gave me some of the DV absinthe, and it smells like licorice. Yeah, the anise note in DV absinthe is really, really prominent, but it's really good. And it's pretty middle of the road strength. So I mean, if you like, I use it at like 10% in a mix, right? So if you use like half that, you probably won't die. Which vendors' juices have I really tried to replicate? None that I wasn't being paid to replicate. Like, I don't have any commercial juices that I've ever gone after, but I've had people ask me to clone recipes for them or clone juices. So I've done that.
I vaped a lot of Captain Cannibal's Sherb clone. I don't know if that counts or not.
The Sherb clone was pretty good. His Sherb clone was pretty decent.
Yeah, it's like a nice trashy juice. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean it's commercial juice for sure, but yeah, Nabik, I wouldn't really worry about it. I mean, that's normal. If it's it shouldn't. There's nothing in there that should hurt you. Capella doesn't release their SDS sheets, so I don't have a list of what's in it specifically. I can only like kind of theorize on my own, which is a really hit or miss method, right? Like I compare it to like the ingredients in TPA guava and kind of maybe think where the missing pieces are, just from experience and reading a lot. But otherwise, I have no way of knowing for sure.
So again, Cincinnati King in the chat, I wanted to get some tropical flavors for friends. All you need to do is get a bottle of Flavora Guanabana and just write tropical on the label of the bottle, and it tastes super tropical.
It's true. I love that stuff, man. I could vape it all. I'm gonna dig some out now, motherfucker. I wasn't gonna mix it.
Basically everything you want out of a tropical flavor. All
it's
in
like
one
it's
place.
like pineapple and banana and mango all in one, but it's like it's its own thing. Right, but it has like elements from each of those flavors. It's fantastic. Cherimoya.
I get some strawberry elements out of that too. I guess you guys wouldn't because both of you are kind of strawberry mutes.
Yeah, I don't get any strawberry from it at all. Any pineapple over Cap's Golden Pineapple? Inaware. And Vape Train, probably. But Inaware first and then Vape Train after that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, just if you're shopping for Inaware pineapple, for the love of God, make sure you don't get the raw pineapple. You want the straight pineapple.
Yeah, what the fuck So I got that from you. Was it from you?
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? Like, I don't even understand it.
Is that the licorice one?
Yeah, it's not a bad flavor.
It's just it's not a pineapple.
No, it's pineapple and anise, and I don't understand why that would be what a raw pineapple tastes like, unless you rubbed Good and Plenty's on your raw pineapple.
It was almost clove, like it was on the potency bordering of like a clove flavor, where I got like a little kind of like numbness or tingliness on my mouth when I vaped it. It was like aggressive.
It's terrible.
It's so
what can you do with Jungle
bizarre.
Juice Flavor West? Vape the living shit out of it. I love that stuff. It's good with like watermelons or strawberries or whatever, and grape soda. That was my next. Mr. Burgundy beat me to it. He knows me too well. I have an addiction to Flavor West grape soda and jungle juice, and it's not healthy. It does terrible things to your coils and probably your body, but it's so good, man. Like I just like do like 7% of each and go for it. It's glorious.
I now have the sudden urge to mix Cap's Harvest Berry and Flavor West Jungle Juice because both of those flavors are kind of gross but super satisfying.
Dude, do it. like 4% harvest beer
Yeah.
too. Like just go all the way, just go all in. Dude, it's so good. I don't care. Like we could talk about all these lofty, expensive, hard to source flavorings, but half the time I still vape Flavor West grape soda and jungle juice. It's kind of sad, I guess. But whatever. I don't know what you were trying to say there, Graham. Was that even English? It wasn't English. Oh, he deleted it.
The bark of a pineapple tastes like anus. I don't know. I know in German, pineapple is Ananas. That's one German word I know. So there's my cultural enrichment for the day.
Is the bark of a pineapple like anise?
Is it even edible?
Yeah, I try to cut that shit off, my dude.
Yeah, I never tried to eat it. It's like it would be like trying to eat sandpaper.
We've come a long way from unaware pineapple is a really good pineapple.
You gave away my harvest cheesecake, Cincinnati King. That's how you do me. That's how you just mixed it, and you were like, "Oh, I bet this is good. You better take it." So, I'm kidding. I hope they loved it. Which watermelon? I think my favorite pairing with jungle juice would be Loran's watermelon, and you could do like 5 to 7% probably somewhere in there, and equal parts jungle juice. I can't really think of any other watermelons. It would be like a dead on mix, like or super easy. But Loran's watermelon, it's pretty hard to go wrong with.
Wonder Flavors sour watermelon candy.
Is that good? I smell it, and I keep thinking it's good, but I haven't actually.
Good.
I'm always nervous when they put sour candy on the label because it's like 90% of the time any flavoring company that's put out a sour candy flavor, it tastes like I don't know, baby powder and death.
It doesn't. It shouldn't have sour in the name because it's not actually sour, but it's a good watermelon candy.
Good. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Flavor West watermelon candy, I guess, is a reasonable replacement for Loran's, but it's not nearly as good.
Is it Kryptonite by Cosmic Fog that's just Flavor West watermelon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it really? Flavor West watermelon is not good.
I know it's not a good juice.
And it's really high too. It's like a really high percentage. It's like straight, like it's like 15% plus sweetener.
I mean, I've been trying all these watermelons all week, and I'm pretty sure that Flavor West watermelon is the worst.
It's not a good juice.
I like Flavor West watermelon candy, but their straight watermelon is not pleasant.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's bad, bad, bad.
I like their watermelon candy better than TPA's watermelon candy. For whatever that's worth.
Dave, where in the grand spectrum of things would you put Perillum watermelon? Because I didn't care for it all that much.
It's all right. It's not bad. It's got I've had some mixes with it that worked really well. It's not that great by itself, but you know what flavor is? Not that many of them, really. It has an identity crisis. It doesn't know whether it wants to be a real watermelon or a candy watermelon.
J-Ro was trying to sell me on Perillum watermelon like super hard when I told him that it wasn't as good as Loran's watermelon. We had like a 3-day long like nemesis argument. 6% Flavor Pink Guava. Who said that? Oh my god.
No, SF Vapes was also going to try Pink Guava and Jungle Juice 6% for both.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, no.
You can do 6% with the Jungle Juice, but don't take Guava over 2 or you're going to hate your life.
I mean,
even 2 might be,
or do it might be fun, but yeah, it's probably not gonna taste good.
I don't know if I would put guava in the menthol range. The menthol in jungle juice is like really prominent. I'm not sure if pink guava is a good choice for that. I mean, I will tell you not to.
That sounds really terrible.
But I mean,
2% and then 6% jungle juice. That sounds like it will be a better time.
That sounds aggressive. Jesus. I mean, I like pink guava at 2%, but I'm kind of a sadist or a masochist, right? Like
pink guava all by itself at 2% is not bad.
Yeah, with a little bit of. But usually, once I take it up to 2% or more, like I need some ethyl maltol or something else to like bring it back down.
Actually, yeah, no. Since you're thinking,
Graham, do it, dude. You can crank that shit up to like 10%, dude. It's good. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, since you're putting it out there, like you already said it, like actually pink guava and menthol, so it might do that thing that kind of piney flavors do when you throw, because it has like that higher like terpene kind of like grapefruit top note to it. You throw menthol with that, it tends to get kind of medicinal.
Actually. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that. I mean, it might work if that's your thing.
It's better than lychee and menthol.
Who did that?
Dude, I've seen it in a couple of those like Nick Salt pod recipes or like cool lychee and all that.
I think it's just lychee and WS-23 though. I don't think it's actually menthol.
I don't know. Lychee and cooling together to me just goes to straight plastic. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
I've only gotten Cap Sweet Lychee to work in like 3 recipes ever, and they were all not like primary pieces.
I think I once tried Flavora lychee with menthol, and it was like vaping burning diapers. It was not a good.
Flavora lychee is just a pain in the ass to work with, though. It's good, but it goes to plastic really fast. And you have to be pretty meticulous about the pairings. Flavor Express lychee is pretty all right, but it runs out sometimes, and then it takes forever for them to get more. And you usually
that Flavor Express lychee is good. I've had some lychee candy that tasted exactly like that. Like if you told me that they used Flavor Express lychee to make it, I would definitely believe you. And it was good stuff. Yeah,
it's really good. Like, but when they run out, sometimes it takes a long time for them to
restock. Cincinnati King wants to know about throat razors. Throat razors.
Flavor of passion fruit.
Are you sensitive at all to throat hit? Because if you are not sensitive at all to throat hit, it is a very good flavor. If you have any throat hit issues whatsoever, Flavor Art passion fruit will pick them up and hand them to you.
Yeah, it tastes pretty authentic, but like the throat hit on it is just violent. It's probably one of the hardest flavors, and you can't cover it up. Like if you're sensitive at all to it, like you can't. There's no amount of ethyl maltol or sweetener that's gonna like take it away. The throat hit for me, like it's just completely unmanageable.
It's like getting a dry hit, that kind of throat hit.
Yeah, the throat. It's brutal. I really like the flavor. I usually use Capella's passion fruit as a shoe-in if I'm trying to work on a pog, mostly because I think it's got more of that kind of nectary sort of feel to it. It doesn't have the passion fruit itself is not as strong, and it kind of takes a back seat, but it's really thick, and I like it. It's good.
Why did so many people add it to their pog recipes? Because they don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Some people. There's a handful of people that just don't get the throat hit from Flavor
doesn't
passion
get
fruit.
it.
Maybe he just doesn't get the throat hit. I don't know. Delosi passion fruit is good. I don't have any Delosi to speak of. Flavor Express. What does that say? Migua?
Yeah, I tried that last week.
Well, what is it? I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
A honeydew kind of flavor.
Oh, okay.
It's candy. It's a candy flavor to me. I mean, it's really interesting. Not really interesting in a bad way. Like a lot of things, I'm just not really sure what to do with it. It's really, really sweet. And the sweetness is what makes it interesting. It tastes like sugar. It doesn't taste like cotton candy.
The vape train passion fruit is good. I just wanted to say that out loud while I wasn't forgetting. I wasn't trying to talk over you.
No, that's fine. He was asking about Migua.
Yeah, I never even heard of
honeydew candy flavor to me.
Hey, Dave, what do you think about Vape Train watermelon? Because I think it tastes like Four Loko.
I don't know. I'll try it. I've got some right here.
Do it. I still need to dig all that out. I got more shelves coming on Tuesday, so I'll be like officially more situated than I am now.
I mean, I didn't hate Four Loko back in the day, but yeah, it tastes like super boozy to me.
But you were talking about watermelons earlier tasting boozy, and I've never had a watermelon that I thought tasted boozy before, so. This is just me vaping off the rest of the Flora watermelon that was on here.
Answer Cincinnati King's question about saying Wayne thinks that custards need ethyl maltol. I think that's, I don't know, that's kind of like I mean, that's his prerogative. If he feels like they need them, that's cool. Like, I mean, that's like
I
kind of
swear
an old
sometimes
trick.
he says things just to see if people will follow him and do it.
It's also kind of like an old trick in the commercial mixing industry is to like push your flavor percentages super high and then bring them back down with ethyl maltol, right? So you can get a more whatever intense custard out of it by like dialing it up to like 10% or something, and then you to tone it back down to whatever. If you want to spend the time doing the balance, it can work either way. But
I'm all for force muting in general. I just want to say I think force muting is underutilized in DIY juice.
absolutely, yeah. So I mean, so there's definitely some merit to what Wayne is saying about using ethyl maltol in custards or other things like that. But
I mean, maybe I just drank too much Four Loko back in the day. Maybe the Four Loko damaged me in more ways than I'm willing to admit. I'm just saying.
No, that tastes like watermelon. That tastes like that tastes like watermelon vodka.
See, there we go.
It's like that 99 watermelon stuff.
See, it's not me that's broken. It's the entire fucking continent of Australia.
rough. Except you, Theo.
I
We
think
love
I'm
you.
drunk here.
No, I mean, I did definitely drink too much watermelon Four Loko, though. I will say that. Back in the good old days when it still had the caffeine and you were like this close to flipping over a cop car after drinking a couple of them.
Oh, yeah, there's some questions. Yeah, guys. So Dave already said earlier in the show, if you weren't here, the noted tomorrow is about watermelons. So Capella's yellow peach sounds interesting. I feel like Flavor Art does peaches better, to be honest. Both of Capella's peaches are harsh to me because they contain a fair amount of linalool. So the throat hit gets kind of, and it tastes kind of overripe to me. But I mean, some people really love it. So.
Oh, and DeMillan, in the chat, do you think those new resin acrylic PT tanks are affected by tank cracker flavors? Like, that's a super weird thing to have to worry about, too. I mixed up a pod mix that had TPA pineapple in it, and I was just like, oh, shit, do I have to worry about this now again? Because all these pod systems have, like, fucking plastic tanks.
Yeah, Flavor Art White Peach. If you're going to pick up their peach, also pick up their apricot. I like their white peach better than their regular peach. It's less harsh. But yeah, a little bit of FA apricot goes a really long way. But I think white peach on its own is probably the best standalone peach.
That Vape Train watermelon it's an artificial, like a candy watermelon, but it's not like any candy watermelon I've ever tried before.
So minus the, you feel like the booziness will probably wear off with the steep. How old was the sample you tested?
Does it make you want to flip over a cop car?
5 days. I want to flip over cop cars all the time anyway, so.
I remember when they discontinued the caffeine-based Four Loko. I went down to my local corner store because I was drinking a lot back then. I had a pretty good relationship with the Korean dude. I ended up buying like 5 cases of Four Loko that he couldn't sell anymore. It got really weird there for a couple months. I'm just going to say that.
Nice. Smiley says he's looking for a simple, tasty fruit pod recipe. Any ideas? Keep it simple. I haven't seen any recipes that I think stood out as specifically for pods, but keep it simple and use high percentages, right? Like 2 flavors, maybe 3 flavors, and you want to try
tops.
to hit. What's that?
I said 3 tops. 3 flavors tops. 4 if you want to add some coolant or sweetener.
Yeah, I feel like 2 flavors is pretty much like the maximum because you're just
super.
The way they produce flavor is so much different. You can't really.
Leilani wants something for that $5. I don't know what she wants though, so I'm just
I don't know.
I don't know what she thinks she gets for $5.
I think my favorite fruit recipe that I've tried in a pod system so far has been like, I think it was 12 or 14% Caps Harvest Berry and like 1% WS23. Like, that's about the level of sophistication I've managed to get to in pod systems.
So since it's like all the rage right now, the pod system thing, the trick to working with pod systems is to take. Oh, did Dave just quit?
Well, apparently we chased him away. So
Leilani, he scared away my co-host, and I don't know if I can abide by that. That's all right. But pod systems, right? If you're gonna mix for pod systems, you need to like be ready to push your flavor percentages super high, and you can only really use like 1 or 2 flavors. And if you vape it on a sub-ohm, it's going to be horrendous. But you can push everything way higher. One of my favorite like mouth to lung recipes is just like 11% Flavor West black licorice and 1% TPA wintergreen. Like super duper simple, just really straightforward. And you could add sweetener if you want, but Flavor West black licorice is already like sickeningly sweet, so you don't need any more than that. But yeah, so if you can't layer in pods. It can't. I mean, it can be done, I guess, kind of, but you have to start with concentrates that are already sort of already there, right? Like companies like Decadent Vapors and stuff like that. Like those have been. I've been testing those for mouth to lung recipes, and they've been much more successful because I can push them up to 20% fairly safely, generally speaking, in a pod system, and I hit max capacity. And usually even just a single flavor is more nuanced than like a regular just 10% or 15% TPA strawberry, something or other.
Steam Room says butterscotch and RY4 are amazing in pods.
Tobacco, Philibor tobaccos are amazing in pods too, also. Like 5% red burley, it's glorious.
So how much more nicotine is needed for mixing liquids and pods? How much more do you want is the entire question. Like with nicotine salts, if you really want to, I think you can probably go up to whatever the hell a joule is at, like 60 milligrams, but it depends on the pod system.
25 works for me.
I mean, even in pods, I still only go to like 18 milligrams, right? And it's like almost too strong for me.
I think I mix it 30 milligrams.
Here, Leilani, I took my shorts off.
Woo!
Lord, look at that streak.
Yeah, there we go. Like this.
I bet Tatanka would be good on pod too. I haven't tried it, but like 4 or 5% of a Philibor tobacco, and you're like good to go. You don't need anything more than that.
I think what gives me a little bit of pause about like the Flavoria tobaccos, and I'm not saying like they're dirty tobaccos though, they're fairly clean for tobacco flavors, but I feel bad throwing away little chunks of plastic because like it tends to gunk stuff pretty fast, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, they are really dark. When you compare it to like the old days when we were using like the early Inawera tobacco absolutes and flavor art was like, if you're at 1.5% freebase for regular sub-ohm, like you could go 3 or 6 milligrams probably with salts in a pod, and you'd probably be fine. You don't need to push it up that high. I mean, you can if you want to, but I mean, once you're already down to like 1.5%, I feel like you can kind of do whatever you want, It does depend on the pod too. Some pods are way stronger than others. Some are kind of weak.
Yeah, and then the other thing about pod systems, like a lot of times the application of the pod systems, you generally want more nicotine so you're not sitting there constantly fucking pulling on it. Like it's more of like the smoke break mentality. So you might as well just like get a big hit of nicotine so you put the damn thing down and you're not chain vaping.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Like I said, I think I went up to like 18 milligrams and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like there's a big difference in pod systems. Like
I'll be back in like 5 minutes, or maybe
that Aspire Breeze has, fairly sub-ohm-ish coils, but like something like this, I mean, it's 7 watts at 1.8 ohms, so it's not the same like level of delivery on it in general. And Koppel has died, so
vanished.
I'll be back in 5 minutes when we have 5 minutes left in the show. But I mean, really, the thing about pod systems that I kind of like, I guess, is there is no like right level of nicotine for them, especially if you're using like nicotine salts. If you're using it as like, hey, get some nicotine in my body now, which I'd recommend because you ain't gonna get good flavor out of them, then you crank it up as high as you want it, or you can take it. You know, it's all very, very personal. It depends on the pod system. It depends on what you're looking for out of it. Plus, that thump. Everybody likes the nicotine thump. Got to get a little lightheaded.
It's true. It's true. I use it at work, the office, because they don't want me blowing clouds in there.
Oh, random Nick salt question. Is 50 milligrams salt equal 50 milligrams Nick, or does salt add weight? I have absolutely no idea, and I use them interchangeably. I don't know if that's right or not.
Dang. I use them the same way.
It's like all the flavors argument about specific gravity. I don't care. Everybody else is just using it as 1 equals 1. That's good enough for me.
I want to try that. Steamroom put his pistachio dreams recipe and said it works good in a couple of pod systems. I have that little what's it called? Looks like a credit card almost.
Oh, the Soren
Air. Yeah, the Soren Air. And I cannot stop putting the pistachio RY4 by my brain is misfiring.
Charlie Noble.
Charlie Noble. Yeah, I cannot stop putting that in there. That stuff is good. I tried all of their Nick Salt things, and that's about half of them. They have 6, I think, and 3 of them were pretty solidly disappointing. The other 2 just probably weren't for me, but I cannot stop putting that RY4 in there.
Which RY4?
The Charlie Nobles.
They haven't actually like a concentrate?
I'm almost out. No, it's a flavor. It's a juice. I'm almost out of it. I'm not going to buy more because I don't really buy juice, but I'm going to miss it probably because it's freaking good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the salt version of that pistachio RY4.
It works. Yeah, it really works. And they clearly, some of these companies just saw this Nick Salt thing and they just took their regular flavors, their regular recipes, and made it with Nick Salt. And here's our salt juice. Come buy it. And it's bullshit. But Charlie Noble clearly put some time in trying to revise their recipes to work on those kind of systems.
Somebody had a question about the weight, mathematical. If 50 milligrams of Nick salts equals 50 milligrams of Nick, or does the salt add weight to the solution? That's a really good question. Let me look up the specific gravity. Does Nicotine River have it listed down there? It depends on where you order your salt from, because each one is going to be a bit different depending on the solvent. But if it's listed as milligrams per milliliter, right, like theoretically, you would assume that the weight is the same if you're mixing by volume. Or by the milliliter anyways. Do they have a... Now their thing's all different since they switched to per Nick or per Nick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that stuff actually works. I haven't had a chance to order any new nicotine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna order some soon, probably this week.
Anybody know anything about these other? Like, I know Chemdevatic, but
they took the lab sheets off the site. There used to be a lab sheet you could click on.
Fucking Glass Nick and all this other stuff. Like, I have no idea about any of those. But Chemdevatic's pretty fucking solid. It's what Vapors Tech sells, and I've been using that for a while.
For freebase Nick, I wouldn't use anything other than Chemdevatic, probably. They're my favorite. Are they doing salts now?
I have no idea. I still like Carolina a little bit more, but Vapors Tech has like a strangely low price on Chemdevatic for some reason.
For the money, I think for freebase Nick, Chemdevatic can't be beat, right? It's like half as expensive as Carolina extract, and the quality is like almost indiscernible. Yeah, they don't have the lab sheets on, or the SDS sheets like they used to when they were still carrying Nick Select or whatever.
So if Chem Novatic is $19.99 for 250 milliliters on Nicotine River, I think 120 milliliters of Chem Novatic at Vapors Tech is like $8 or $9. I want to say like $9. I don't know if they raised the price back up on that.
I just bought some like Friday. It's 240 milliliters that you buy, not 250, and it's like, yeah, it's less than $10. It's ridiculous.
So hang on. 120 mil is $8.99. Here, yeah, 240 mil is $16.99.
$16.99, okay.
And the 250 is $19.99 on Nick River, so it's $3 cheaper.
No, Leilani, Chem Novatic is not on par with Carolina Extract, but for when you consider the price versus the quality, it's worth it.
It's close enough. Like,
yeah, it's close enough that the price difference makes it worth getting Chem Novatic instead.
Whenever a manufacturer or somebody I'm working with asks me for like a reference for like a reasonable price nicotine for their commercial projects, like I always suggest Chem Novatic. I mean, nobody hits Carolina Extract really anywhere, anyone. New Nicotine used to be closer than, I mean, I haven't tried them in a long time, so they may be doing better, but yeah, Carolina Extract is stellar. Vapors, Chem Novatic is almost as good and a fraction of the price.
And I mean, I'll just go ahead and admit right now that I'm some sort of like plebeian, because I really don't notice the nicotine difference between like Nick Select and Carolina at like 1.5 milligrams, and Chem Novatic and Carolina, I can't tell the difference under like 6. So
yeah, I mean, if you're cranking it up, maybe. Yeah, a liter.
Plus, it gives you an excuse to order some weird-ass and Aware flavors that Vapors Tech carries for some god-awful reason. So if you need some wild rose tobacco or some shit, Vapors Tech.
Do I think that every concentrate company should have MSDS sheets readily available? That's a pretty well, I mean, MSDS sheets aren't what we're after anyways, right? An MSDS sheet is just the safety data, and they don't have to list everything in an MSDS sheet. It's not the requirement.
They have to provide the MSDS sheets. What's really helpful that TFA does that other companies don't is they provide the spec list, and it would be awesome to have that for everybody.
Yeah, it would be awesome, but on the flip side, just coming from somebody who works with intellectual property at any level, like I can understand why a lot of companies don't disclose that, because it's like, I mean, it's basically trade secrets, right? Like, and then when you get into the weeds on that, a lot of companies are going to hold on to that. And
they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
It'd be great if they would, but they're not going to. Just give that idea right up.
TPA's level of disclosure is the highest out of anyone else in the industry. With Flavora, I guess, is probably closely behind them. And Flavor Art, if you seek out the information, you can get it, but it's not the easiest to find on their websites. But yeah, like it would be nice if they could disclose more than they do, but an MSDS sheet like doesn't really give you that much information on what's actually in it. Like if you're trying to avoid allergies or diketones or anything like that. Like I think that a simple diketone disclosure.
There, look, Cincinnati's got the comparison shopping on the chat. He's on Vapors Tech now, $32.99 for a liter of Chem Novatic versus $59.99 at Nicotine River.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Make sure you're checking the potency, because they have different potencies available, and their lower potency nicotine is way cheaper.
As always, yeah.
Which is cool, because a lot of nicotine companies don't lower the price of their
17. Apexify said it's $17.99. I mean $79.99.
Yeah, it's $80 for a liter.
He must be looking at a lower potency.
He's got to be, yeah.
Or he's looking at a higher potency than Cincinnati is.
But a Chem Novatic on Nick River. Their liter is cheaper, but their smaller sizes are more expensive. Yeah, the liter is $20 cheaper on Nick River. Probably, I would say it's probably pretty safe to assume that Vapors Tech isn't rebottling nicotine, and it's pretty safe to assume that Nicotine River is, right? So it's going to be backwards, right? So if you're ordering a smaller size bottle of nicotine, it's going to be cheaper from Vapors Tech, or if you're ordering it in bulk. I don't know who buys nicotine in liters anymore. I don't have that kind of space. Do you guys do that?
I think the biggest I've ever bought was 500 milliliters, and that lasted me a long time. I don't know. I just don't see nicotine really getting all that hard to get a hold of, so I'd rather just buy 120s when I need it.
I buy 240s usually, and they last me like 6 months at a time.
Yeah, that's me. 240s at a time.
And I have like a backup liter in the freezer that I've had forever. EU sourced. What is that? No, I have to go back and look for like the 5th time.
Rory buys gallons.
Rory's on that, man. He's the pusher man for all of Vermont for e-juice, I think.
Yeah, the other stuff is $45.99, but that's the throat hit nicotine, right? It's kind of harsh. And it's like, I don't know, it's like intentionally harsh, though, I guess.
Mixlife 60, the one where we comparison shop.
All Chemnovatic nicotine is sourced from the EU because it's from Sweden. I'm pretty sure.
I'm still not wearing any pants.
Lordy.
I'm into that. I'm super into that. Let's explore that a little.
I was afraid you had forgotten, so I just wanted to remind you.
Well, I finished my entire energy drink, so I'm ready to take today by the balls.
Good deal, good deal. 220 mils, 240 mils for $51. Oh, from Carolina Extract. Well, that's about it, I think, for today, folks. We covered a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's probably Poland. It's somewhere in that, I don't know, Scandinavian.
Isn't it the same people who actually, it's like vaguely attached to the people who make Inawera stuff, right?
I don't think they're actually, they might work out of the same facility, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I know almost nothing about actual facts, so. Just in general, I want to put that disclaimer out there.
I mean, there's only like 50 people in Poland, right? So I'm pretty sure that they probably employ some of the same groups of people, right?
And their hazard suits have Adidas tracksuit stripes on them.
You're not. We're not that far east yet. Poland's not quite there. Kim Novatic makes Molenberry. All right.
That's the fact I halfway remembered and regurgitated. Sorry about that.
Poland. Well, I was wrong. Stand corrected. We were both wrong. That's all right. It was close, though. All right. You guys got anything else? I think I'm about wrapped up. Last minute questions? Nope. We're talking about balls. All right. That's it.
All balls all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Checking our one-shots or other cool shit. The Facebook group, all in the description below. Make sure you hammer on the subscribe and bell button and all that stuff, right?
And no, Train Sonic, you don't want to hear us sing you a song. It would be terrible.
No, yeah, that's not going to happen. Sorry. We love you, Train, but nope.
Smash that like button.